just sat on my balls. They don't warn you about that when you're young, do they? You know. Anyway, Danny rolled. The drama rolls on. That's not a pun. It just, you know. So Danny rolled back in Germany, spent a bit of time with family, and then seemingly gone on a bit of a media tour. And what's he saying? Well, he's saying, I'd love to work in Bundesliga. Grew up over here, know the game, worked at Bayern Munich. I'd love to work at one of these massive clubs with great players and this and all. Yeah, I'd love to work in Premier League and all. It'd be smashing, yeah. And people have lost their shit. It's totally unprofessional. Well, yeah, it probably is. But let's be honest, we've known this were coming. We've known this were coming since Christmas time, haven't we? It's not a shock. It's not a shock to anybody. Well, it looks like he's going. We've known this for months on end. I mean, I bet it were, I would say maybe about Oxford game at home. One of the lads told me, he's been in, he's said his goodbyes to staff and that, you know. Everybody knows it's a done deal, he's going. It's like the worst kept secret in football. But no, he's hoarding him sent out. He's going to, isn't he? Season's over. Everybody knew this were coming. Being online, it's like folks aren't taking it well, are they? I'm reading some of the stuff. Reminds me a bit like some teenage schoolboy that's been dumped by a bird. Where's you with a fucking slag anyway? Alright, chill out. He's going. Okay. It makes it a bit messy all in public. But that's for him at club to sort out. I'm sure at some stage it will. And what's he said, genuinely, that's any different to what he's ever said. Young and ambitious, he's always said that. I'd love to work at one of the big clubs. You can trace it all the way back. Not new. And then I've seen other stuff. Stop sticking up for him, you bastard. Because the truth will come out behind the scenes. Bit of a bastard. Very good in front of cameras, the nice public smiling face. Behind the scenes, he was happy to take all the credit, but he was horrible to people. Were he? Well, even if he were. Are you shocked? It sounds like every gaffer I've ever had. Happy to take the credit, but a real ball breaker behind the scenes. I wonder what people said about Alex Ferguson. He was just a big cuddly teddy bear behind the scenes. Have a day off, lads, don't come into my... No, wait, it was a ball breaker. Because people who want to achieve things are ball breakers, aren't they? And if you're piloting the ship, yeah, you are going to take some credit. I don't know, folks are going mad about it for me, I don't... The only thing I'm bothered about, and I genuinely mean this, I don't care if he's a shithouse behind the scene or whatever he does. And as I've said before, I think he'll get a very top of the game. And all this about him being a shithouse. I'll tell you this and over. Tell me then. I can't tell you, but don't say out then. You know what I mean? If you knew, tell me. Be quiet then. But you know what I mean? If you've got a story to tell the fucking story. Anyway, I know, but come on. We knew it weren't going to be a long term. They were never going to be a long term thing. When we first got him, I was like, let's have a quick look at his CV. And genuinely, I thought, but he's got some background here. He's got a bit of class, you know. Might be able to do a job here. A long term, I thought, maybe he could build something. I mean, I was forgetting, of course, that our club is run like a fucking Sunday League side. Tell a lie. Sunday League side, get the money for the sponsorships. But I thought, promising your manager, all right, maybe he can take us on part of that journey with him. I think I said it in the first video. He's obviously going far. If he can drag us a little bit that way, great. And that's what's happened. Steadied us into a championship side. And now the shit's hit the fan, which it would always go on. I think the shit's hit the fan with every manager we've had, hasn't it? Shit hit the fan with Darren Moore. I mean, Darren Moore were doing an interview about signing players the day before he got signed. Police, God, all them comments. I mean, whatever we say, it was a terrible time then, but whatever you say, them interviews that we're doing. Don't know, don't ask me, ask people who run the club, everything. Would you like Barry Bannon to stay? No, do with me. Ask people around club. The only important thing now is that we've got a manager going into next season. Now, how'd you get about it? Because he's under contract. Shouldn't have signed a new fucking contract, should he? He knew what he was getting into. Well, did he? Sometimes you get married to a bird and then it turns out she's a fucking lunatic. And, you know what you were getting into? You don't always, do you? But he's under contract. That's a fact. Another 2 years? Well, we're no chance really. He'll play hardball. And to be fair to the chairman, rightly so. And I've said this before. I wish he'd got the same attitude towards flogging players as he has getting fucking flogging managers and getting money in. He just won't eat shit. Because that's one area where he does very well. Getting money for gaffers. And that's what it's going to boil down to. However, it means Danny goes on gardening leave. We get somebody else in. Maybe Pedersen moves up. Whatever it is. He will hang on. He will hang on to that contract. He's not going to be like, yeah, okay, buy your way out, gentlemen. There's going to be none of that game. Of that I am sure. He will be saying, go and sit on your ass in Germany. Sit by the lake. Somebody wants you. I want the dollar. And to be fair to Mr. Chancery, rightly so. My concern, I don't really care about Danny or Chancery or the row that they're having as such. I just want us to go into next season with things in place. We've currently got, I've heard today, 16 players out of contract. Because it turns out that Hatsusi was on a 6-month deal. But 6-month deal, what's all that about? I don't know. It's like emergency loans back in the day. Quick, from Fran's car. 16 players out of contract. That's my concern. Managers come and go. Am I gutted what's happened with Danny? Of course I'm gutted. Because genuinely, I think he's best gaffer we've had in 20 odd years. I really, really do. But he's gone. They do. Ron Atkinson went and I started rewarding when I was a kid. They've all come and gone. But we've got to carry on. We've got to carry on into next season. We need some players. I mean, what's the starting 11 going to look like at minute next season? Have we even got a left back? That's what I'm bothered about. Who's in, behind the scenes, dishing contracts out, getting lads re-signed up, who's in charge of that, transfer target list? Because there will be one. There will be one. And saying, right, let's get after this kid. Let's get after this kid. That's all I'm bothered about. I want us to have a first 11 on first game of the season. Actually, I'm lying. I want more than that. Because saying I want us to have a decent first 11 on first day of the season is not really what I mean. Because that suggests that, sign them at midnight or day before a game, like we usually do. No. Let's get them in the next 2 or 3 weeks. Signed, sealed, delivered. Go and have a fortnight in Ibiza, son. Come back, get ready for pre-season, and off we go. That's what I want. Let's get business done early. Do you know what I mean? But that's if we've got any money to spend. I know, but off-field drama all the time, innit? But people love it, don't they? I think they do, but I'm not a big fan of it. But some people, it's like, they revel in drama, don't they? It goes back to that schoolyard thing. She says you're a slag and he says you're a... Old women hanging washing out up, washing line at Alders. Have you heard about her down road? Do you know what I mean? It goes back to tittle tattle. Folks love it. They might say they don't, but they do. And folks love that in the know thing, It's like... Is he handling himself brilliantly? No, but that's up to him. No, it do with me. No, it do you, really. If he wants to pimp himself out, but why not? He's obviously not coming back to work, is he? Pimp himself out might damage his own reputation. Folks might be looking at him going, well, I'm fair, this fucker's under contract. We're looking at him, but what if he does the same to us when he comes in? Obviously, it's a play. He's gone on for a quiet time. He's doing these talks. That's between him and his agent. Maybe his agent's gone, you know what? It's obviously not got him back. Pimp your son out. Let's get the word out. Whatever. All I'm bothered about is that, A, when does he get the money that they're owed for him? 2, we get a gaffer in and get him in quick. And 3, that we start looking at players, getting players re-signed, so that there's some semblance of normality going into next season. We're not signing players day before first match of the season. We're not going on a pre-season tour with a load of bloody under-14s because we ain't got anybody. That's what I'm bothered about. I know that sounds a bit much like a plan, but we live in hope. My balls are still hurting from that.